I'm Dan, aka Utters. I'm a musician, producer and mixer based in London. I've been mixing relatively recently, started taking it seriously, but producing and writing songs for about 10 or 15 years. I've been working out of the same room directly below me now for the last 10 years, and I had the opportunity to move up here. Acoustically it has some problems. The main problems are low ceiling. It's also asymmetrical, so I mean all of it is fine. It just means that to use things like room mode calculators and to be able to eyeball what the issues are going to be. When I moved in, I just had to measure my arse off and just move speakers around, and ended up in the speakers being in a place that I would have never predicted that I would put them in. I would say that my initial reaction was more confusion more than anything else, because I didn't really understand what was going on. I mean, certainly when I played more contemporary music, which makes a lot more use of the extremes of the frequency spectrum, then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay. It's such a seismic kind of shift. I think you need a bit of time to process it. And I remember the advice from Paul was just trust it and let it do its thing. And that turned out to be totally right, because once you've left it on for a few days, when you take it off, like, what? Like, how did I ever even listen to it? It sounds horrible. The main thing that goes without saying is just the tonal balance. If you can get that right, you've improved your mix by at least 50%. I did take the time to just bring up some parts of an old song, a band song actually, from my band Prep. I had a better mix than what I did, before in about 5 minutes. It was just like much better. It was like depressingly better. To summarise, like with the correction, your tonal balance it's a big revelation, but also it just makes you want to throw all your plugins like in the bin, because you just don't need them, You just accomplish it with so fewer moves. If anything, it's just really user-friendly alignment, for just basic like delay and crossover. It's just like, forget the room correction for a second. That's actually really useful. I actually use the lab remote as well. And really that and the MC Pro is a speaker monitor controller, and it's really like the hub of this new studio. And everything sort of goes, that's kind of like, that's the last thing before this you hit the speakers, and that's what's just dialing everything in to make it really, really as good as it can be. I often am involved in production, so I might need to overdub some, guitar or get a singer in to record, and you obviously, you've got to turn the Trinnov off for that. And so I was doing quite a convoluted thing using my Stream Deck and mapping a button to like point at the bypass button on the Trinnov app on my computer. It kind of worked, but it's just really good to have access to, what do you need? You need the volume, you need a dim switch for when you want to talk, you mute the speaker, you can do it all, and obviously bypass the correction. You're just plugging it in direct to the unit itself, so it's kind of like not involving anything else. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. Trinnov is the kind of apex of that kind of thing. You know, it's a hardware, incredibly tweakable, and it goes over the top of everyone's heads really. But I think there's a certain like leap of faith needed to still for people to kind of say like, okay, this is something that I want to have a go on. When I think of the average person making music and mixing music, you know, we're all addicted to gear, you know, we love our compressors and you know, it's just like, man, if I could have thrown all of that stuff away and saved up my money to buy one of these things like 5 years ago, I'd be, you know, miles ahead. Because yeah, when we're talking about stuff like tonal balance and just basic balance of your mixes being totally off because your room sucks, a compressor is just going to compress that crap mix that you've got.